students. Today we are going to see module 1, that is introduction to cyber attack. Uh, so the cyber attacks motives. So what is the motive behind the attackers who does the cyber attacks? The first is theft of sensitive information. See, for the theft to steal some information, there would be some reason, there would be some sensitive information which he wants to steal for his own benefit, or for selling it to somebody else for the money. So the first thing is, for his benefit he will steal the sensitive information. And the second is military plans and installation of camps. So if at all any military people does any meeting, or if they are going to reveal some information where they stay, so this and all are captured or stealed by those attackers, and this will be informed, or this information will be sold to the people who wants this information. And the second is political espionage. Yes, see, whatever the ministers are talking, the political information will be sold, which is very sensitive. Then the disruption of service. My competitor loses my gain. Yes, see, if at all we have already seen this disruption of service. It's nothing but whatever the service that should be get by the authorized person is stopped by some unauthorized person, then that is nothing but disruption of service. So it can be in terms of bandwidth. If we send so many unwanted information, then the bandwidth will be consumed, which will not be used, which cannot be used by the authorized person for his own information sending or receiving. So this is a form of disruption of service. Next comes illegal access to or use of resources. Yes, if at all some resources, it can be hardware or software, or it can be of files, anything. So if it is restricted only to the authorized person, and if an unauthorized person tries to access this, then that is nothing but illegal access. So he is accessing the resources illegally. It can be anything. So these are the motives. Next, types of common attacks. So what are the types of attacks that we are seeing in our day-to-day life? The first one is phishing. What is phishing? So it lures its victims to a fake website. Yes, sir. Nowadays what happens is, we are having website for all the things. Like if you want to do some bank transaction, we can get into a bank website and we can do it. If you want to purchase something online, then you can get into a website like Amazon, Flipkart, and you can do anything. So for this, for everything we can get into the website or app and we can do the transaction. So if at all the unauthorized person creates some fake website, and he takes the authorized person into it, to the fake website, and he makes the authorized person to do the transaction over there, so that he will reveal all the sensitive information such as password, transaction password, everything, with which he can do the transaction in the original website. This form of uh, creating the fake website and making the authorized person to get into the fake website, from which the unauthorized person can steal the sensitive information of authorized person, is nothing but phishing. Next comes, yes, the same thing is explained here. Then farming. Farming is similar to the fishing, but the farmer is more sophisticated and makes use of vulnerabilities in DNS. Yes, with the help of DNS only, this phishing takes place, because what happens, this domain name server, it always stores the IP address of the website. What happens is, how the authorized person is taken to that fake website is, the unauthorized person will replace the fake website's IP address in the original IP address, in the place of original IP address, whenever the authorized person gets into www.sbi.com. it will get into the DNS, but in the DNS for this original website, the IP address which is mapped to it is the fake website's IP address. So he will be taken to the fake website. So this is done with the help of the DNS. So this is how the phishing works. Next comes information leakage. May also take place through eavesdropping or snooping. What is eavesdropping? Eavesdropping is nothing but hearing some sensitive information passively. They are not going to do any active attack here. They are going to do some passive attack, they will be hearing the sensitive information and it will be revealed whenever, or it will be sold. It can be used at any time for any purpose. So this is nothing but eavesdropping, knowing the information passively. That's it. They are not going to modify anything. Next comes identity theft. Yes, attacks such as phishing that attempts to steal personal information. Yes, here what they are doing, they are stealing the identity of some person. So it can also be called as identity theft. Next comes personal information may be leaked out from credit cards, yes, smart cards, ATM cards, and electronic passports for a variety of skimming attacks. Yes, so this is done with the help of some hardware or camera, like sellotapes. Also, they can use to get the information of whatever is present in the ATM card and whatever is entered, the password which we are entering in the ATM machine. So that is nothing but skimming attack. Next comes there are a rich set of techniques to enable these attacks, ranging from fake terminals to the sophisticated side channel attacks. Side channel attack is nothing but by knowing the frequency, how long it takes to enter a password or a character, where and all it is moved. So depending on the frequency, if they are noting down the sensitive information or stealing the sensitive information, that is nothing but side channel attack. Like advanced power and timing measurements also can be conducted. Frequency measurement, timing, power requirements and all, power adjustments and all can be these information can be used to get the sensitive information. That is nothing but side channel attack. Next comes dictionary attacks. Dictionary attack is nothing but if my friend tries to uh, get my password or use my password, what he will do? He will first will guess all the possible passwords which I will put. So that is nothing but dictionary attack. So what first of all what he will try? First he will try with my name, then my son's name, then my son's name and date of birth. Like this, he will try all the possibilities of the password which will suit me. This password guessing is nothing but dictionary attack. Next comes the ultimate goal of the attacker is to impersonate his victim. He can then make online purchase, request banking transactions, perform unauthorized. Why he is going to do the dictionary attack is to get all these information. The common name employed for the attacker's interruption or disruption of the computing service of his victim is denial of service. Just now, disrupting of service and denial of service is same. Okay, next is vulnerabilities. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is nothing but the weakness. When I'll be vulnerable to fever, when my immune system is weak, I'll be vulnerable. So, what is the weakness do we have so that we are attacked by the attackers? That's what we are going to see now. So, there are four vulnerabilities. One is human vulnerability. Human vulnerability is nothing but whenever we are getting mail, what we are doing, mail or any notifications which we are getting whenever we are browsing through the website, we should not click on it if it is not from the trusted person or if it's not of the trusted website. We should not always click spam mails, the attachments which is received from the untrusted person or unknown person. If you are going to do, then what will happen is it will take you to the fake website which will retrieve all your sensitive information. So these are the human vulnerabilities, human weakness that is found so that the attackers can easily attack us. Next comes software vulnerability. Software vulnerability is a security flaw. Yes, it is the weakness in the software which we are going to use. Like in case of if you take the example of this validation process, that is when we are entering into the website, it will ask for username and password. In that, what will happen, the SQL injection and attack and all will happen. Like they will the attackers will give the entire query which will retrieve the password from the server itself. So this and all should not be allowed by the software. This and all occurs due to the vulnerability in the software. Next comes protocol vulnerabilities. It is poor implementation or improper deployment, yes, of protocols. What and all protocols we are going to use in the network is TCP, UDP, DNS. Then for mail, SMTP, FTP, these are the protocols which we are going to use for the communication of the data in the network. Okay, so if these protocols are weak, as I said, if we had, since we had DNS as a weak protocol, we had the problem of this phishing. So the attacker could directly enter into the DNS, and he has changed the IP address of the fake website, IP address of the original website to the fake website. So this is because of the vulnerability in the DNS protocol. Due to this, our phishing attack was possible. Next comes configuration vulnerabilities. Yes. So if we have not configured any files or applications or firewalls properly, but the attacker can make use of the weakness, and he will be getting into the sensitive information, or he can steal the information which we have. So with this, I'm finishing this session. We'll see in the next session. Okay, bye bye, see you.